Well, my story takes its drastic turn at age about 13. I grew up in a not quite Christian home, very religious but hardly Christian. We had all kinds of beliefs and traditions and this and that, but no mention of God, no going to church. And by and large, I was just selfish. I was rebellious and disobedient, did what I wanted to. And I mean, that's what I wanted to do, so that's what I did. I would fight for different toys. I mean, I have stories of at age 6 where I very clearly remember I was disobedient. I knew it's like, this is not what I was told to do, but I'm going to do it anyways. One very specific story I remember is I'm standing by the kitchen window, and my mom overheard me say something I probably shouldn't have said, and she comes up to me and is like, "Jeremy, don't say that." I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really care. And she gets out of earshot. I just kind of whisper it to myself again. I'm like, for the pleasure of disobedience. And I knew it was wrong. I mean, I was rebellious, and it gave me this temporary pleasure. But it always left me empty afterwards. Even though I was, I received pleasure for a moment. By the end of the day, I was just like, this isn't fulfilling at all. I'm not satisfied. But that all changed when God brought a guy named Caleb into my life. He was a good friend of mine for a long time. We'd talk about whatever. I mean, he would listen to me, I'd listen to him. We swapped stories. We hung out. He'd come over to my house, whatever. And eventually, we started talking about spiritual matters and those sorts of things. He invited me to his church to hear his story about how he met Jesus and how he came to Christ. And as I listened to him, I was torn. I was just like, I want this because he's satisfied, he's happy. I'm not. And so as he shared his story, I was completely torn. I started to cry. I ran to the back. I hid. Someone pulled me aside. It's just like, do you want to pray? Can I help you? And so I prayed, and we talked about this God who forgave me and loved me. And I didn't know what to do with it. I was just like, this is incredible. And we talked more and more, and I accepted it. I was just like, I want this. I want this God who forgave me and died for me. And afterwards, I couldn't explain. I didn't know anything. I was just like, cool. But afterwards, I had this peace, a sense of satisfaction that I just couldn't explain. I was just like, I'm content. I'm at rest. I can sleep. I'm still growing. I'm not perfect. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And I always have a greater sense of peace. I'm giving instead of taking. I'm selfless instead of selfish. It's a complete change that you just can't quite explain. You just know it happened. Just like the blind man. It's like, I was blind, now I see it. I don't know how the math works, but the math is there. The change happened. And that's my story.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Jeremy. I appreciate that.